Visionary, forward-thinking, and compassionate, Edmond Hawila is a parliamentary candidate for Cyprus with άλμα, activist IT professional, dedicated to creating a more transparent, sustainable, and people-centered future for Cyprus. Welcome to the episode 9 of the Farah Shammas Podcast.
Edmond Hawila.
Hey, Farah.
Woo, welcome. I always thought I'd have you on my podcast, and I thought we'd just only discuss veganism. And here we are discussing elections and running for a member of parliament. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. It's very nice to be here with you.
Oh my goodness. And we've got so much to talk about. And I'm so excited because I know...
I see you have a long list there.
I know. I've got a long list of things that I hope we'll manage to cover because I think it's particularly important because the elections are coming up. I've had Penelope on as well. There's a lot of candidates out there. A lot of people do get confused. They don't know where to look for the information. And especially for some of my listeners who don't speak Greek and are Cypriot or not as comfortable in Greek and are living here or just want to be involved with this whole process and want to know what's going around. So I think it's really, really important that we have this conversation today. So let's start off by saying, for those who might feel a bit disconnected from politics in Cyprus, why does this election mean so much and why is it more than what some people might think?
Okay. So first of all, thank you for the opportunity to have this in English because as you said, most of the content actually is in Greek because most of the people
we're in Cyprus, there's government.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a good opportunity for people to listen to the topics in English. And the elections are very important now because we've got so much corruption. We are seeing all the time all these things coming up. And
and the world is just simply in chaos.
Yes,
I mean, it's not just Cyprus, the whole world has gone mad.
It has.
You know.
It has gone mad. And we've seen now, I don't know if you've noticed, but in Hungary, they made a big change for the government. So let's hope that we start to get back again. The world always has ups and downs, right? So I think we are in a point where now we'll start being more, with all the internet and all these like influencers and stuff, you see more things coming up. And it's what you said, a lot of people won't go and look for this information. You need to pop up in front of them.
Yeah.
And we're trying to do that now.
Yeah.
Everyone is trying to. We should be doing that.
Although maybe people should be looking for information, especially because every vote matters. Every vote counts. So...
They should. But in Cyprus especially, we have, I think, it's 23 parties now. So each party...
And what, you tell me, why do we have so many parties? I mean, we're a small island. Why is it that we have so... I mean, in the UK, there's 3, maybe 4th will come up. I mean,
I'm not sure how to explain it. Maybe it's ego. Maybe we cannot, we are Mediterranean people. We don't kind of
everybody wants
compromise easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone wants to do...
We want our own.
And that's another misconception that people have, that when you go into a party, you need to agree with everything. You can't agree with everything. Even between us, we won't agree with everything. And it's okay. You need to see the important stuff. And
but life isn't about agreeing with everything. It's about having that dialogue and then finding the best solution within
that's what it should be. Because what I'm saying is that a lot of people see these politicians go into the panels on TV and they start shouting to each other and disrespecting each other. And it's mind-blowing for me. And I think for most of the younger generation, that are used to collaboration, because we're working different now. It's not like the olden days where it was different.
Yeah.
Now you know that
there's more of a hierarchy.
You need a team to work. And that's what the parliament is. It's a team where it's representing people and supposedly it's going to do good work for the country. And seeing these people just fighting like that, it's just...
crazy. Unnecessary maybe.
Yeah. So
although sometimes you get it when someone's like so extreme on one side and the other person's like, what's going on?
But it's changing, I know Penelope, I know a lot of people from other parties. We've been together. I was at the Green Party for like 15 years or so. I've left the Green Party now on January.
Yeah, that's my next question. I wanted to ask you about that.
I've gone into άλμα, it's called. It's a new party from the Auditor General who was dismissed. And it was a big uproar from the public because there was so many scandals that he was bringing up and the system just came and took him out. And it's a big deal now. He's in the European court trying to find out what happened. And he had so much momentum from the people that he managed to create a party. And we
And what
have
does the party stand for? What is άλμα?
so the basic aspect of it is that we want to reform the government. We want to stop the corruption, put some basic structures that will avoid corruption from happening, and have efficiency, because we don't have it now. You
No,
try
not
to
at
go
all.
in a government service and you try to do a simple thing, and it's so complicated, and no one knows. The simplest thing.
Well, I think nobody wants to be fired. They all just think, oh, if I just push the paper around long enough,
Yeah,
then I'll
but
just keep my job and I'm here.
Farah,
But I know
with
it's so frustrating.
I'm working in a business, right? I haven't been in the public service. I'm in the private sector. I'm in the IT industry actually, and I've been for 20 years in the industry. When you get a position, you have some responsibility. You have to take the responsibility. Here we have people avoiding responsibility, not even caring, because they have some, I don't know, someone behind them supporting
Yeah,
them.
some
They
uncle
have,
who put them there, their
yeah,
cousin.
yeah. And
Yeah.
they know no one
And
is
they
going
get
to touch
huge
them.
salaries.
Yeah.
And then what
Well,
really
not all of
annoys
them get
me,
huge salaries, but no one is touching their job. You know, no one is.
well, quite a lot do.
Yeah,
But yes, okay, I agree. Not, I mean, there's a scope of everything. But
yeah.
also, what infuriates me, and there's some that are obviously that some people and musicians are amazing and they do a great job, but others, and they almost have a viewpoint like I'm doing you a favor by doing this. Well, no, that's your job, and actually, it's our
Exactly.
money that's paying our taxes that are going into this system that give you that money. So it's not. It's let's all be
Exactly.
respectful of each other.
But the problem is that a lot of the bigger parties, they like this system because they can pick up the phone and help someone.
Yeah.
You know, so they get to keep this kind of um, clientele at the end of
Yeah.
the day. It's not really people trying to help people. You're trying to get voters by
Yeah.
helping them by doing your job. And
Yeah.
the service, the public service doing their job, which they aren't. And we've got so many problems.
Interesting.
The biggest problem I find, in my view, is the legal system and the police. When someone goes to put a deposition in, they quite often ignore them. They push them away. And a lot of things has happened since then. And then we have the legal system having so many delays that no one uses it at the end of the day, who is, they know that they're not going to get anywhere.
In what, go a bit deeper, in what respect? Like, because I mean, I use the legal system every day, and my
Yeah.
husband's a lawyer, and
Mhm.
as a hotel, I mean, we have to rely on this.
Yeah.
But who doesn't use it then? In what way?
So let's say for someone who got hurt at home, yeah, maybe a woman was hurt at
Yeah.
home. If they go to the police, they probably push her away. If even if she manages to get the position in, it takes so long for the legal system to do anything. Or even
By
with
then,
business.
she would be
Yeah,
frightened.
it could
And,
take 10 years.
yeah.
We've seen the example of this English girl that was in Ayanapa and was raped by 10 people,
Awful.
whatever.
Yeah.
It's
Gang
still
rapes.
not done,
And that was
Still
that
not-
was a long time ago.
very
Yeah.
long time ago. And
Yeah.
these are very serious things.
Yeah.
And even in
But I heard
business,
there was a lot of connections there as well.
definitely.
Yeah, that's why.
So
Yeah, I
we've
wish
got
I
all these
agree. Yeah.
issues, and in the legal system, everyone knows that it's not a good system. It's not working properly. There's a lot of corruption there as well.
I think it's
Even
the corruption. Some of the systems in place, again, I'm not a lawyer, so I can't really speak for this, but I think a lot of them they're better than other countries, that's for sure. I think it's maybe one of the good things that was left after the British were here is that we do have quite a structured system that in theory should work well.
Well, it's
But
quite outdated.
but unfortunately, a lot of our processes are not updated.
Do you remember when Queen Elizabeth died? We had so many references on her in the legal system. They had to change a lot of laws just because she died, which means that for so many years, no one touched anything. So you see where the members of parliament, even with the member of parliament, a lot of the times they don't even go to the meetings, which is a big issue. So what I want to give to the people is that they need to check who are they promoting, who are they voting for. You need to find people who are well mannered and they want to work and they want to do it because they want to help, not because they want to take like a position of power.
Yeah.
This is not a power position. This is a public service.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. So you were a member of the Green Party for nearly 15 years, and then you left and you joined άλμα. So what was the turning point that made you decide to do that, and also, I mean, more importantly, to run for being a member of parliament?
So I've run as a member of parliament before in 2021 with the Green Party, and I did really well actually. I almost got elected.
Oh, well done.
I think 100 votes or something like that. But since then, we've done a really good work up to then with a very nice team that we had there. But after that, a lot of the older parties have these kind of egos in them, and they don't allow the newer generation to bring the change. Where we were bringing and making all these good reforms and bringing up good ideas to people and started looking at us, because in 2021, the Green Party got 3 members of parliament where they didn't before. They never got that before. So we did good work. But after that, they started turning inside themselves and they started pushing us away. And we had one of the member of parliaments leave the party. And a lot of the other guys were kind of pushed away. So everyone kind of left from the team that we were working with.
Yeah, originally.
So there was no. They came before this year, and they asked me to join them, but I didn't feel that was home anymore. Not many people that we were working with and having the ideas and done all this work all these years. We've done so much things, even with tree plantings, beach cleanups, which are kind of, it's not the main thing, but it's important to show who you are and what you're doing.
What you
kind
stand
of push,
for.
Yeah, what you stand for. So they kind of moved a bit away from it, and the team wasn't there. And I didn't feel comfortable running with them anymore. I couldn't feel that I could support that. So I was about to kind of retire from politics, let's say. But Odysseas Michailidis, who is the guy who started άλμα, who was the Auditor General, approached me and we had a chat. And what I liked about him is that because he's a technocrat, he was an auditor. He knows how the government works. He knows what needs to be changed and how. So he knows all the processes. And also he understands, because that's the main thing I talked about it with him. One was the legal system that I think needs to be reformed, because you can't have people doing things and not being punished. And the other thing is that with the elections, we just want to give a message to everyone that people don't want this corruption anymore. We have to break it. This is the parliament, but to go into the parliament, you can't really do too much stuff. We already have laws. As you said, we have a lot of laws. But who is enforcing it? It's the government. It's the police. It's the legal system. And that's where we are lacking. So we need to go into government to change that. So the next part, and there is a next part, is not just the parliament elections. The next part is the presidential elections in 2028. And we want to go there because we really want to bring change. And you can only do that from the government.
From the government. So let's now rewind a bit and go back and talk about you.
Yeah.
And because we've kind of dived into the top part, and we are going to also go back to this topic, but let's tell everyone, who are you? Who are you? I know that you're a mixed background like me.
Yeah.
Let's get into a bit of that, where you grew up. Tell us a bit about your life. Let's actually get to know Edmond.
Okay, so I was born in Limassol, back in 1982. And my father is from Lebanon. So I have a Lebanese citizenship as well as a Cypriot citizenship.
Which my dad says, whenever I used to laugh about my Lebanese passport, he'd be like, this is invaluable to Lebanese. He goes, it's useless to anyone else, but to us, it is very important.
Exactly. Although I don't have a passport, I do have my ID.
Oh, you don't have it, but you can get the passport
because
easily.
It's just
But
like not worth it.
Yeah, you don't
it's
need
not
it.
worth it.
Yeah.
So I grew up I grew up in a lot of places actually. We started from Larnaca. My father, when he came from Lebanon, he was working with a company. We were in Larnaca. At some point, we moved to Lebanon as well for 6 months or so.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You managed to get back. We didn't. Yeah.
It didn't work out. As you know,
Yeah.
it was crazy back then, especially back. But then
Yeah.
even now, like all these
Well,
things
now
happening.
it's, the worst.
madness.
Yeah.
So they came back. We started living in Limassol. We moved around. So I was never in one spot. So I was moving around. I finished the technical school in Limassol in computers. I'm in the IT industry for so many years. And I wanted to go study at some point. I wasn't so sure. I wasn't very confident back then. I wasn't a very confident young person. So I decided not to, I wanted to go to Tomsk in Russia.
Wow.
I found a university. It's like very deep. Tomsk is like
Yeah.
over Mongolia or
Yeah,
something like
yeah.
that. It's anyway. I wasn't feeling confident to do it. I liked the university and what it offered, but I didn't know the language. I had to
Yeah, it's
study Russian
far,
and all
yeah.
that. So I decided to voluntarily go into the army because we are baptized as Maronites, the religion, and back
Yes,
then,
so back then,
yeah,
yeah,
as a
you were
minority,
exempt, but
yeah,
not,
we
yeah.
could not, we could avoid going to the army. But I decided to go. I went to
Really,
the, yeah,
voluntarily? I can't
I
believe
did.
that. You're the only person I've ever heard do. I know everyone who tries to get out,
Yeah,
and then you're like, "Oh, do it.
yeah, yeah,
I'll
yeah.
take it for the team."
You know, it was kind of the fun thing to do before going to the army, 100 days before going to the army,
Yeah,
before turning 18, whatever. All the kids after the schools, you see them with the
yeah,
motorcycles running around the city and doing all
yeah.
the crazy stuff.
But why
I
did
was
you
with
do
them.
that? Did you feel like that was going to help you fit in? Did you feel like you're embracing your Cypriot side? Did you?
It was two things. One was like I wasn't confident enough to leave the country and go
Mm,
study alone somewhere really
yeah.
far, and I didn't want to go to Greece
Mm,
or UK. And I also had in the back of my head the financial situation of
mm-hmm,
my parents.
mm-hmm,
So I said, okay, what can I do now? I didn't want to break the friendships I have
mm.
with the people I had. So I said, okay, everyone's going to the army. Let's do it. Why not? And I did it. I went in and I was in
And it was
the.
2 years.
I didn't do it 2 years. I did it for 9 months.
Okay.
And after I
Was that
went out,
because it was voluntarily?
yes, it was
Yeah,
voluntarily, and I could get
that's
out
so good.
anytime I wanted.
Okay.
At 9 months, became really boring for
Yeah.
me, to be honest,
Okay, but that's
because
amazing.
yeah,
Bravo, Su.
yeah.
Yeah.
So then I started working actually in the IT industry,
Hmm.
and slowly I got industry certifications. I'm certified from Microsoft and all that kind of stuff. And now I'm managing the Cyprus office for a UK based
Hmm.
company, and we're doing really well. We're one of the 25 top IT suppliers in Europe.
Well done. It's not my
So
field, so
yeah,
I
and
have a joke with Eddie, who
oh
also
yeah,
did
yeah.
IT. Yeah, and yeah, he'll whenever he talks about IT, my brain just goes static. It goes shh, like nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm
So
definitely not
along
him.
with that, I always had this. I think the IT background also came from this. I always have this. I want to help wherever I
Mm.
am, and in IT, you're
You're
actually helping
solving
people.
problems
Yeah,
constantly,
yeah,
like the IT crowd. Did you ever watch that?
exactly.
Have you turned your computer on?
Yeah, pre-recording stuff. Now we have AI agents. They do
Ah,
that. So yeah, I also started doing volunteering because it felt right for me.
mm.
So that's how I got into the Green Party and started doing all this stuff. And I'm also a member of a lot of other NGOs,
So
environmental
community is
ones.
very important to
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
Yeah,
it is because
yeah,
it's where we live, right?
yeah,
And you want to help other people. I mean,
yeah.
it's
And
inherent for.
you've always been here. You've always been in
Yeah,
Limassol. You know Cyprus.
yeah.
Yeah, you love it. Well, on that note of community, I want to touch on both veganism, but also I mean, you have spoken quite a lot in your posts, in your YouTube videos about a healthier and more humane community.
Mm,
So I want to talk about that. Like, what does that look like in practical terms if you're
mm,
elected? What does that
yeah.
mean?
So look, first things first is
Mm,
that we are responsible for ourselves before anything else.
hmm.
So it's what you can do about it. I
Mm,
mean, we can talk about the health system and all that, but if you're not taking care of yourself and you're not watching out your diet and you're not watching out maybe doing some exercise
mm,
or not smoking and stuff like that, then you know that things are going to come down the road. Of
mm.
course, we want to have a better health system, and we're going to try and do that because that's another big problem we have in Cyprus.
I'm just going to stop you there because I just wanted to check. I have another question and it
Hmm.
also ties into this. And it's a question that does come up a lot and definitely in a lot of my interviews and over the years with Cook Vegan and
Mm,
different people I've interviewed around the world. That at what I mean, a lot of people say veganism, for example, is a personal choice, and it
mm,
is. But at what part does, as you said, the responsibility for a healthier, for a kinder world, any way that someone wants to put it, doesn't have to be all the way to veganism, but at what point is that political or environmental, and what's the role in government in that? So what should governments do in planning and promoting this? So you're answering, but I want you to tie then in both those questions together.
Look, there was this quote from Jim Rohn. He said, when you are building a city, you can build a beautiful city, but you also need to build a jail, because not everyone's going to follow the rules, right? And there's always going to be people who have a different perception, have different kind of wants and needs, whatever. Here, with tying it with veganism and with health, like we've seen for a long time now that everyone who is researched, they understand that going into a more plant-based diet is better for you. And everyone can say whatever they want, but the research is there. So that's the first thing. I remember my dad, about a year ago or so, he had an open heart surgery. Yeah. And after the surgery, he went to the room and they brought him the option for lunch to be either a pork chop or a rollo, with the egg and the... I'm like, is there a nutritionist here? What are you guys doing? He just had heart surgery. It was so crazy. So no one is actually looking into this. And
it's madness. And I'm so happy you brought that up. And I'm very proud, and we are proud, because as Lebanese, the first hospital in the world is the Hayek Hospital that said, we're not serving meat here. This is crazy. We're not going to give someone who's had a heart surgery something that's going to clog up. And George Hayek, the owner of it, is coming for my event, Sum It Up, in November. He was one of the first people I contacted. I said, you've got to come and tell us about
he's
this.
Amazing.
Yeah,
he's amazing.
Yeah. So, yeah, I agree. So, okay, tell us more.
So, okay, from there, you need to... I went and asked at the doctor and told him, do you guys have a nutritionist here? They said, no, we just have a company we work with and just bring food. Like, what's going on? No one cares. Like, they don't see this kind of... Because you have to... There is medicine where you can fix things, but you need to have prevention as well. Where is the prevention? And it's the government's point to do the prevention. I'm sure you know about
and help promote it. Yes. So I agree. So there's a lot about personal choice, personal education. We can all look up the stats and the facts, but at the end of the day, we need the policies there to help us for recycling, for eating healthier, for having, funding go into our fruits and vegetables so that we can have things without pesticides and at a reduced cost. Why is meat so cheap? I mean, it's cheaper to feed your kids nuggets and mincemeat and crap, basically, instead of a salad. It's cheaper to go and buy a frozen pizza, or I mean, I went into Alpha Mega the other day with the kids, and there's these ready, or Lidl, I can't remember, these ready burgers in a pack that you just microwave. They were they look like the toy ones that my kids have in there. I said, wow, people eat this. And it was just, I mean,
there was this guy, I don't remember.
And we need the subsidies, because there's a reason why that's so cheap.
Definitely. On that point, though, although we need to, there is this plant-based treaty. Have you heard about it? It's
in Cyprus?
No, it's a global thing.
Okay,
So they're trying to promote the plant-based thing, and they get organizations or even cities to sign it. And a lot of cities have.
I know that,
and they're,
many have, and many of the cities not only have done it, but they've also got universities involved. And
exactly. So there is already the structure for it.
And Amsterdam, it's now illegal to advertise meat.
And I was just coming here and I saw an advert with a dead fish saying that we have to eat fish.
I know. I know. I see it and
crazy.
I cringe. Yeah.
It's our perceptions though, because we went into this.
Or pregnant women. This is what makes us healthy, me and my baby. And it's proven that the mercury in that is not good for you, for especially pregnant women and their child.
Anyway, the point is that the legislation needs to change, the perception needs to change, but there is a lot of conflict in it as well, because you have the farmers, the animal farmers, actually, because they're going to lose their jobs if you kind
Mhm.
of cut it off. You cannot cut it off at that time. You need to help them
No, it's not
transition.
overnight. You have to help
Yeah,
them transition. Yeah. I mean,
exactly.
that's what my little book, The Pig, is all about.
Oh, I
It's
haven't
all
read that.
about
I have to
that.
read it. Yeah,
Yes, cute. I'll give it to you now. It's
yeah.
just, it's all about, you know,
Transition.
the transition that the farmers, they're good people. And instead of
course.
killing the pig, why don't you grow flowers or, you know, there's nuts. There's so many things that you can do
Yeah, and
that
there
we
is
need.
all this like permaculture, veganic
Mhm.
culture now going on, and you want to go closer to nature. Anyway, we've proven now that eating the way we're eating for the last, I don't know, 80 years is not good for us. A lot of
Mm.
people say, but meat is this and meat is that. Yeah, but your father is like 60 years old and he's got cholesterol and blood pressure and
Mhm.
all this stuff, you know, and it's not good for them. And all this cancer is all around. So we've seen that this doesn't work. We need to find a
Mhm.
solution. And the problem is with the policies and all this kind of conflict of
Mhm.
interest, let's
Yeah.
say, with all of that. And we want to help the farmers who are growing actually vines and fruits and
Mm.
vegetables. We're not helping them. We're helping the animal
Yeah.
farmers and the milk producers, and we're not helping the base of our
Mhm.
Mediterranean diet. We
Mhm.
talk about Mediterranean diet, but no one is really
No
following
one's
it.
helping. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know.
you know, and all this stuff now happening with the illnesses, with all the animals
Oh,
now being
yeah.
killed like that.
Yeah. All the
It's
culling.
they're not seeing it. A lot of people are not seeing it. We have
So
to go
what's the
there.
practical solution for this? Like, what could be done?
So
A
policies
few
need to go
things.
there
Yeah.
to be based on science.
Mm.
Look at the science, look at the data, and do policies that help with that. It needs to be in a transition.
Yeah. And
Help
from
with
schools,
from schools as
because if
well.
children
Definitely.
learn from the beginning,
Farah, I think you know you have kids in school. There are some things that are not supposed to be sold in the
mm.
school, but
Hmm.
they are. They are.
Well, according to ours, because I've questioned them many
Mm,
times, this is what the government allows, and that's what they'll sell.
mm,
But we'll get an email, you know, can you make sure your kids have healthy snacks?
yeah.
And then our kids can go and buy chips, ice cream,
Yeah.
you know, sausage rolls.
Sausage
I don't know
rolls.
what. I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
And my kids come home and they're like, you won't believe what we saw today. And if I ask them go get something healthy, they're like, there's not. We
There's
don't.
nothing
We don't
there.
even have the option.
Yeah.
There's
It's
nothing.
just, we have the other side of it as well, where we go in the supermarket and we see like a plastic box with the pineapple in it.
Yeah.
We're like,
Or the banana, or I don't know, or even the pepper. I'm like,
like,
what? You know, why
yeah,
have
so
the
much
plastic?
plastic everywhere. Yeah, it's mad. And you talked about recycling, and I'm not a fan of recycling actually,
Mm,
because recycling has failed
mm,
globally. So there are the three R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. Recycle is the last one.
mm,
And at the moment, only 20% of the plastic we use gets recycled.
yeah,
And a lot of people don't know how to
yeah,
recycle. For
yeah.
example,
Well, we
uh,
still need it, but as you said,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
it's the
yeah,
the last reason. You
yeah.
have
We
to
have to
reduce it
reduce it in the
first.
first place, yeah.
Yeah.
But like when we stopped having the
Like
plastic bags,
you brought here a
yeah,
glass bottle of water.
yeah,
You know how many places I go and I see plastic bottles of water?
yeah,
Why?
yeah,
There's no reason. You can change it so easily.
yeah, exactly.
And but people are not doing it.
But
They
people do get used to it. That's where policy
mm,
is important. Like at the
exactly.
beginning, anything from the smoking ban, it was like, no, that will never work. People got used to it. Now
Yeah.
you know you can't imagine that people smoke in public. The bags. What do you mean we have to carry my own bags or we have to
Although we
pay
still have
for
a
a
problem with
plastic?
the smoking. I mean, other places still, and it's one of the things that people are. The government is not enforcing it
Mm,
at the end of the day. You know,
yeah, yeah,
it's a problem. It's
yeah.
a
It's
problem.
a problem.
Even if the legislation is there, that's what I'm saying. That even if
Yeah.
the legislation is there, you know, to go into the government and force the enforcement because
Mm,
we're not doing it. Even a lot of people who come in Cyprus, they are so surprised that everyone just parks on the pavements. It's just madness,
yeah,
but it's
yeah,
there.
yeah. So policing, but they say there's a problem with a number of policemen that we don't have enough.
Yeah, but that's not the main issue.
Mm,
Since we got there, I
mm.
want to talk about a bit the transportation system
Yeah, I'd love
because
to. Please, yeah.
Limassol is crazy with traffic, right? And I think it's
And
the
it's only
city
the
with the
last 2 years. I just can't believe it. We
yeah.
never had traffic. And now suddenly,
So many people are here and
yeah,
so many
so
people
many
want
people
cars,
came.
and every house has so many cars
Yeah.
because you don't have an alternative. You don't
Hmm.
have an alternative, and we're such a small island.
Hmm.
We should have had buses going to all the cities. Limassol, Nicosia, it's a 1 hour drive. In London, I used to go 1 hour just to go to work in the morning. Come on. And they're not doing it. They're leaving conflict of interest, as I said before. There are interests behind that for people who are selling cars and I don't know what, gas stations and all these kind of people. And you are leaving the elderly need to drive, which is dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
And they do all kinds of tricks to be able to drive in a very big age. Or you have teenagers that they want to be autonomous, but they can't. They have to go around with more dangerous things like all these scooters and the bicycles, which they shouldn't be dangerous, but they're dangerous because of all the
So many
drivers.
cars, yeah.
Yeah. So it's another kind of shift that we need to do, and it's all there with data, but the government is not. It's looking in the interests instead of
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, we have to be more transparent and look for the greater good and not
We have to be data driven
tough.
and look at the reality.
Mm-hmm.
And the people who are there now are not.
Mm.
This is the main issue that we have, and this is why I'm into politics and I want to kind of be, the sting there, pushing them like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, we need that. We need that. Absolutely.
Halfway gone, no?
We're doing well. We're doing well. Actually, we've covered a lot. So I have a question here for you about communities like the Positive Minds Toastmasters Club. So you were in Toastmasters.
Yeah.
I know you're also in Forest Club.
Yes.
You've been in quite a lot of communities, and we've already touched on why community is so important to you. But I'll just touch on that so people get to know you a bit better. How have all these communities been important in helping to shape you as a future leader?
So you talked about Toastmasters and like my hair got up. Because I've been with Toastmasters for like 10 years or so, maybe more actually. From when I was in the UK, I started it more. And Toastmasters is a global organization that helps people with public speaking and leadership skills. So when you get there to start speaking, you get confident, you start seeing other people speak about so many subjects, you learn a lot. And it's the same with other communities as well. Wherever you go, you start learning things. You meet good people. When you go into communities that care and they want to volunteer, this is good people, smart people usually, who want to have a better community. So these are very important. Although I don't want to, because we've been to the other edge where we see now a lot of these NGOs going and doing cleanups in different areas of the city and all that. I have a bit of an issue with that because it's like we're allowing the government not to do the cleanups they should because we go and do it. And they kind of rely on the volunteers at the end of the day. There was you were there at the Cyprus Sustainable Tourism thing.
Yeah, I was a
and
speaker.
I made the question to the mayor of Larnaca, and he said, it's the people's problem. They should not be throwing garbage around. It's your city. You need to educate people. You need to find them if they're doing that. And you need to clean. They have to do it. They don't do it. So I don't want to shift it to
attitude. I mean, when I've had friends of mine that visited from England, I remember one specific case. They couldn't believe it. They went out. I was busy. A Cypriot friend of mine came and said, "Don't worry, I'll take them out." Took them out. At the end of the excursion, they all got an ice cream, and the Cypriot friend just rolled down. We're talking about someone who has studied, who's a little bit older, who just threw out the paper like that into the street.
Wow.
And the ones from England were just like, did we just see this? They couldn't believe it.
Couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
And we see it every day. Like I am also a motorcycle rider.
The graffiti is a major.
There's some nice ones.
No, but that's art. That's
art.
different.
Yeah.
That one thing is, I've got this wall, beautiful. The sides of hotels that they said we need to decorate this, bars. That is amazing. That's beautifying our city. But then there's, whatever it is.
It's with the
football and
teams.
Things. I mean,
that's one of the things that I think again comes to politics. They try to separate people. They try to hate each other, and we have this hate. It's them and us. They don't see the community that we're all living in the same place. We're looking at the same things. Why would you go and break a light of the street?
Yeah.
Why would you go paint on top of a sign?
Of a sign that's showing directions. But I often think that it's because I've seen parents, again, in professional settings who are educated, well-paid people, good jobs, who are saying, "Oh, I'm so proud. My children asked for like specific paint, and after the game, they're going to go round." And I'm like, "What? Like, and then one woman was like, I went and got spray cans, especially from Athens, for them and then I'm like, what? Can you imagine? Also, and then the kids go and they don't understand that they're damaging something that needs to be cleaned up. That someone needs to go and be paid to clean
Yes.
it up. And who's paying them? The government. Who pays for the government? Their parents who are working. And it's this cycle that they haven't connected.
The parent paid
It's
for the
us
spray and paid for the cleaning as
Yeah.
well. And they don't
Basically.
get it.
And they don't get it.
It's what we said before, like there are some people that are not going to get it. But I want to be optimistic that we have more
Hopeful.
people. Yeah, you know, even with your club, we see so many nice people coming into the club. Farah's club is doing amazing work. I really appreciate it.
Thank you
You
so
know,
much.
and we see other NGOs as well. Like I'm at the Friends of the Earth of Cyprus. It's Terra Cypria who's doing a lot of work. It's so many people who want to build a better community.
That's
We need to be part of it, you know.
Next question. You've touched on it.
And from politics, we need to work on it as well.
Well, you've always been quite involved in activism. So I have here, what has that taught you about real change versus political promises? Because, I mean, you've been involved for years from even environmental protests and volunteering and, Friends of the Earth. And so we've seen the promises before, or we've heard them discussed before, but then the reality is that, 10 years down the line, we're still waiting.
I've seen a video today of another newborn party that they were promising money to people, right? Bigger retirements, bigger help for rent, and all that kind of stuff. This is not possible through the parliament. This is people who don't understand what the parliament does. Parliament does two things. One is do proposal for new or change a legislation, or they're supposed to be able to check and monitor what the government is doing. These are the two main things that the parliament is doing. They cannot actually enforce change. This is why I said we need to go into the government. 2028 is the big bet for us. Now we're just going into the parliament to help with legislation. And it's the first step where people need to show that they want us, because we are there and we have the knowledge and we have the belief that we can and we will bring change.
Also, you're willing to do it. I mean, not everybody's willing to give up their, their time and go and be an MP. I mean, it's a lot of time.
So that's one thing. We need to be careful what we're promising people. And people also need to understand what they're voting for. What can a member of parliament do? And also a member of parliament cannot bring change on their own. They need to all vote. There are 56 people in the parliament. They need to have majority in order for something to pass. So
and tell us, so as an MP, what does daily life look like?
Okay. So every Thursday you have the parliament, the big parliament meeting.
Parliament meeting.
Yeah. And every day there are the committees. There is the transport committee, the health committee. There are different types of committees. So you need to be in the committees and you need to look at what's happening in the country, also financial wise, but also problematic. What's problematic and what can we do through legislation to fix it? Maybe.
So every day, if you get elected, every day you'll be in parliament.
Definitely, most of the days.
Most of the days.
I think maybe it's not every day, but it's most of the days.
And your work that you do.
So if I get elected, hopefully I will.
You say when I get elected.
We'll need to see with the business how it can work.
Yeah.
Or if it doesn't, maybe I need to stop. There is a lot of members of parliament that do both.
They manage to do both.
A lot of them have their own businesses and they can manage.
They can manage,
But the meetings in the parliament are not full day.
Yes, okay.
But you do need to go and see all these, like firefighters have a lot of problems. Police has a lot of problems. So you need to see all these people who have issues. Maybe they are sending you something. Maybe there's something in the recent things that have happened, and you need to have a look at. You need to do some research
and really pay attention, exactly, and do research, not just to be there for the fun.
Of course, you have help. You have the associates which you get help from, and there'll be more usually the sources are
Information.
more legal
Mhm.
oriented. So because you need to be careful with how you phrase
Mhm.
things when you're doing a law, a
Mhm.
legislation. So you need both.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I think you can be flexible with your
Mhm.
time, but you need to be there. You
Mhm.
cannot become a member of parliament and not be there, because
Mhm.
we had these issues before. Before now, the parliament every Thursday is live recorded and published on YouTube and on RIC too.
Mhm.
Before that, a lot of members of parliament didn't show up. You know, now they show up because people see them, and they
Yeah.
also you can see them
You're like, I
putting up
voted for you, were
shows.
you? Yeah.
They go and they want to speak because they are going to be
Yeah.
published. It's you need to be people need
There
to
needs
be
to be a
aware
fine
of
line
it.
in between. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You need to understand what they're doing. Are they actually doing something with essence, or are they just speaking to speak?
Mm,
Show off.
I love that. Right. I'm going online.
Mm,
We asked on our Instagram
yeah, we've got
for some
questions.
questions. Let's
Nice.
see. Let's see. 1 minute. I've got to go to. Let me go.
I wanted to say that because I'm a motorcycle rider and I go
Yeah.
around, and it's been so many years that we do tree plantings. A lot of the times I go, I remember maybe a year ago, I was with a motorbike going to Paphos,
Yeah.
Statos village. I was, and I saw the trees we planted like a decade ago, and they
And
were
how
growing.
green.
I started crying in the helmet. It was so
Oh, you
emotional,
see. Yeah.
so
You can
nice.
actually see it.
You see change, yeah.
It's amazing. Okay, so this one I like it because get normally more from women, but this is from a guy called Mario, and he said, "Can you sum up what you stand for in one sentence?"
Mm. Okay, one sentence. It's kindness. You
Mm,
need to be kind with the people around you. And I have this quote actually, which I run by. It's truth, love, power. Look at the truth, be truthful with yourself, give love
hmm
to yourself and to your community, and be powerful enough to say to be bold about who you are and what you represent.
Yeah,
I think that's the
I
main
love
thing.
that. Yeah, yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Truth, love, power. It's from
Truth, love, power.
Steve Pavlina. I don't know if you know this guy. He's a really nice personal development guy I've been watching for a long time.
Edmund, thank you so much. Is there
Thank
anything
you.
else you want to say? I think we've done really well and we've
Yeah.
summed up a lot of what's
Look,
going
I
on.
appreciate the invite. I love spending time with you guys. And Maria,
Ah,
thank you so much.
Mary.
Mary, yeah. And I hope the people enjoy the chat.
Yeah.
Feel free to reach out to me. I brought you some flyers.
Yes, yes,
I've
we'll
got
have them
English and
here.
Greek. I don't know if people can see the stuff, but you
Okay.
can find me online. You can reach
There
out to
you
me, send me
go.
questions, whatever you want. If you want to meet, if you want me to meet some of you or some of your friends, I'd love that.
Perfect. Justice that works. Respect for the environment and all animals. Zero tolerance of corruption. Limassol without traffic chaos. And housing for all. Number 11. Edmond Hawila. There you go, everyone.
With άλμα. Yes.
Yay.
Thank you, Farah.
All right. Thank
so
you so
much.
much.